Okay, hello guys. I'm back with you again. My name is Brent. I want to share with you this in part two. This is my second video. I got a lot of so I'm going to consciously take care of those ums and ahs and not turn you off with a lot of that. But now what I'd like to do is talk to you about the range day. We talked about in the first video a little bit about the orientation. We talked a little bit about preparing your mind and your mindset to as a paradigm shift of changing from one industry, maybe coming out of restaurant, maybe you're coming out of working in retail, maybe you're coming out of wherever it is, preparing your mindset to become a student to do this shift into becoming a professional driver or obtaining your, in this section here, we're talking about obtaining your CDL license. So we also spoke about how fast paced and how to take the importance is of taking notes and jotting down little cheat sheets of notes so you can continue to be successful. And the main thing that we also talked about is just the simplicity of listening and understanding what is told to you, and how to apply what has just been learned. Listen, one of the things that you when you go out on the range, you're looking at to have a class size of at the minimum 20, maybe 30 people in the class. So, and with Swift, when you get out there on the range, they have an adequate amount of trucks. They have an adequate amount of equipment to use, and I am well pleased on the academy and their ability to successfully have you out there learning these skills so you can obtain your CDL license. Now, the range is actually the toolbox, the nuts and bolts of actually putting hands-on your training. So there are a few things that you can do prior to getting to the range, prior to even coming to the school. Whether it be with Swift Academy, whether it be with Prime, Snyder, Roadmaster, anywhere that you go that's going to have you prepare yourself for being successful in examination for your CDL license. One thing, it's very important, though, no matter where you are, and it's important to the industry, no matter how long you're going to be driving or how long you drive, this is one thing that is a standard and must be done every time you jump into the truck, and that's called your pre-trip inspection. Simply, the pre-trip inspection, based on the state that you're coming from, every state, let me stop rocking the table, let me slow down so we can understand this. Based on whatever state you're coming from, there is a pre-trip inspection that is required on your truck. Simply research this on your own, obtain it from your Department of Motor Vehicles, and find out what your pre-trip inspection is for tractor trailers, commercial vehicles. And they'll have a list of tell you what you must know in your CDL book on the back pages. In the state of Florida, it's in the back pages, tells you what the pre-trip questions are. There's a lot of videos, YouTube and other companies that have the pre-trip listed on their websites. There's a lot that are for sale. You can buy a CD, you can buy all this, you can do all the buying in the world to obtain this information, and equivalently, equally, there are a lot of free ones. The free ones come from the Department of Motor Vehicles. So what is a pre-trip? A pre-trip is the first thing that your examiner from your state, whether it be third party or whether it be the state officer themselves, they're going to ask you to look at a portion of the vehicle, of the tractor or or even the trailer, and you're going to have to identify parts in that truck and inspect them to make sure that they are in adequate condition for the road and the condition that you'll be driving in. Simple things like looking at make sure you have coolant level is at a fill between the fill and full line, that your power steering fluid is between the fill and full line, your washer fluid is full, your oil, and just the things of that nature going all the way through. When you do not have to be mechanically inclined at all, because when you get to the range, when you get to the school, you're going to learn things like, I had no idea what a pitman arm was, or what a drag link was, or what I never looked at drive shafts and universal joints. I never looked at brake pads, and not only are you going to learn what the brake pads are and what the minimum being 1/4 inch in thickness of the pad, you're going to learn all that. It's going to be exciting, and you're going to love it. But these are some things you can study, and it's to your advantage if you can get this list and you can memorize it for your state prior to you getting there. Now, for the rest of the book, it's going to offer you some suggestions and some things that you need to take your test to get your permit. But when you get to the range, when you get to those instructors, and them instructors are professional drivers that have come off the road and now are imparting their wisdom and knowledge onto us out there in the range. They're going to tell you some things. They're going to tell you to put that book aside and listen to us. And my suggestion is this: listen to the instructor. The book is nice. Give you a heads up, but listen to the instructor. But when it comes to that pre-trip test I was just talking about, you are going to need to know this, because before you even jump in the truck and start it up, you're going to have to know these tests, your pre-tests. They got a part called the in-cab, and they have another part called the brake test. Before you even test with your instructor or test with your agency, whatever state you are from, you have to pass this aspect of it. If you can't get past this, you'll never start the truck. So just to get your heads up, and don't get me wrong, it's a lot of stuff, but you'll get it. And to help save time, I suggest that you go ahead and get it, and it's called the pre-inspection test. Pre-inspection. So, and then it's also called a post-inspection. So you can get that, and that will put you leaps above the rest of the class if you already have that. I wish I knew that information before I got to the academy, because I would have studied up, because it took a lot of studying and memorization. You have to learn the language, and you have to learn the lingo and the definitions. And so if you're mechanically inclined, you'll have an advantage, because it's the same motor that's in a car, but just bigger parts in a tractor trailer. My goodness, it's bigger parts. But you'll love it. You'll love it. You are going to love it. So that's one of the most important things, is the pre-trip that you learn that. Also, they're going to teach you some skills. They're going to demo some skills out there for you. I like how brutally honest the instructors are. Let me share this with you. When you get out there, these instructors, unlike a doctor, as the doctor goes to school, he learns how to be a physician, and they also teach him bedside manner. Well, these instructors don't have bedside manner. So if you're looking for someone to tell you softly and kindly how bad you're doing and pat you on the back, you're going to get it. I suggest that you look for another school, because they want you to get it. They're not drill sergeants. Some of them are kind of close, but also understand it's not personal when they're speaking to you. They want you to get it, and their delivery just lacks some bedside manner. Some of them have a little bit, maybe they skim through a book or something, but others just brutally tell you point blank. And you have to appreciate that, because they want you to get it in that short period of time so you can be successful and that you can pass the CDL test. That's the objective, is to pass the test. Now, also, and speaking with the lines of the instructors, when I don't know how many of you are college graduates, But when you went to university, or even in high school, you had 27, 33 students in the classroom. In a university, when you go into a lecture hall, you may have 100 students in there. How many teachers are in that classroom? One instructor. So you may be in a class with 30 to 40 people in that class, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, whatever it is, and they have more than one instructor, but you also have to understand that they will take you out there and they will give you a demo. They will show you one time, and here's some things that they're going to go over. They're going to go over straight line backing. They're going to go over parallel parking, whether it be blind side parallel or sight side parallel. Simply meaning blind side is you're parking that truck onto your passenger side, or you're parking that truck, sight side being on the driver's side. So they will show you that. Also, you'll do some offset backing to the left, offset backing to the right. You're going to learn that. And the most important, which most every state asks for, just maybe a couple and may not. If they don't, they're going to ask you to do a 90. And the 90 is one of the most typical backing procedures that you will do in most all truck stops and most all actually in the state of Florida they call it docking. So that's a serious maneuver, and it takes practice. So when they are out there, they're demoing these procedures for you. You will see they'll come to you. You're to take a note, and they're going to tell you the angle. They're going to tell you your turns. They're going to show you how to do it. You ask your questions, and they'll demo it a number of times, and they're going to say, okay, now you get in and you do it. All right? And you're going to mess that thing up in the first time, maybe the third time. The student may not even show up. I have a saying that the teachers are always there, but it's when the student shows up is when you're successful. So the student, you may not show up until the last day before the test, but you just keep at it. So as they show you, I suggest you take a little piece of paper out there and you write down. They're going to tell you it's very important that you're going to learn that you're going to have to be detoxed from the way you drive your personal car and the way you drive these tractor trailers. This is going to be phenomenal. I'm excited for you. I'm in my class now. I'm getting ready. I'll come Monday. You see the date there. Come Monday, I will take my driving test, road test, all the skills tests on Monday, and I look to be successful in passing it. But when I started, I tell you, I had to detox myself from habits. So they'll teach you new disciplines. And let me share this with you. Disciplines become habits. Habits become lifestyles. So you keep that in number. You just keep doing that discipline and become habitual. Then you'll be doing it without even knowing that you're doing it, and then you'll just continue to be successful as you go forward. So I'm excited for you as you come forward because you're going to learn some things that you never thought you'd be able to do, and you'll have a new perspective on the truck drivers that are the CDL holders of America today. Because a lot of times back in the day, they said if someone with a 6th grade education can get behind a truck and drive those trucks. But today is a whole 21st century is a whole nother way. You practically almost had to have a college degree. But the fact is, I'm just saying that you don't have to be that smart. You just have to be able to listen and to think safety at all times. So when they demo for you, you write down, they're going to tell you to make a full turn to the left. Make 2 full turns with that wheel to the left, or make 2 full turns to the right. And what they're going to teach you is not to drive that tractor, which is the front part of the truck, but to drive the trailer. And that you'll be backing and moving that trailer, and that tractor is just a tool. Okay, yes, I'll do it. I hope I don't get in trouble for this because Swift is who I'm with in their academy, and they're very, they don't want their information to get out there, and I'm being very conscious not to do it. But they gave us a tool, and the tool kind of looks like this. That tool is there. So this pinky here is the trailer. See me wiggling? And this thumb here is the tractor. So if I want my trailer to go to the left, which way did my pinky go? My pinky went to the right. So they teach you to turn that steering wheel to the right. If you wanted to go to the left, you want the trailer to go to the left, then you turn that wheel to the right. It's almost the same concept if you ever drove a forklift. The back tires are going differently, but the front of your forks are going opposite of what you turn the wheel. And so when you learn to back that thing, you learn to steer the trailer, and that's a beautiful thing because some of you coming in may have never had the experience of backing a boat, backing a trailer, backing a camper, or something of that nature. And those of you that have been in the trucking school before, you understand just what I'm saying. So let me tell you this. Come in being a student. Come in taking little notes. When they tell you things about turns, when they tell you things about when you get into your shifting, they're going to give you all kinds of tidbits, what I call gold nuggets. And they're going to be talking to you, not even knowing that they're giving you these nuggets. You jot it down, you write it down, and then apply it. And you'll find out the instructor will spend less time over at your truck and more time over the people who did not take notes, because you'll see what they told you has worked. So in recap, you want to, if you can, get your pre-trip and your brake test in advance and learn those before you get on the range. And with that, it'll give you an upper hand. Regardless of what school you're going to, you will be successful. Again, that's called a pre-trip inspection. And then it's also post-trip inspection, but you get tested on the pre-trip inspection, and that'll tell you all aspects of your tractor and your trailer. The offsets are simply degree angle parking, pulling up, coming to the right, pulling up, coming to the left. And those are some easy maneuvers that you will learn. So if you're going to Swift County, if you're going to Millington, you are going to do some night drive. You're going to start in the night. You're going to go from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And you're going to drive all night. Bring the poncho with you. Even if it's 70 degrees in the evening time, the temperature changes at night. Bring a beanie, a cap. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Bring your flashlight and some batteries, spare batteries, because you're going to need those things. They're important. You're going to get a list from your recruiter. It's going to be a standard list, but you want to make sure that list is there for a reason, because those items are needed. But if you don't get a list, poncho or wet weather gear, you want to bring a cap or a hat that will cover your ears just in case it does get cool in the evening time. You want to bring a flashlight, and you want to bring some gloves. All right? But those are some things. I hope this helps. There's some other things in the 90 backing, and also I suggest that you, just so you can get familiar with what's going on, there's some great YouTubes out there and things, but don't let that be your teacher. Let the teacher on the range show you. And so if you don't know these terms, straight line backing, let me say this about straight line backing. That is the basic. That is the most fundamental. It's you pulling a truck straight up, and you have to back it straight back. Sounds so simple, does it not? But you'll be surprised on the individuals who fail all of their skills because they cannot back a truck and trailer straight back. If you don't get anything right in the beginning, you get the straight line backing correct because every skill requires it. When you do your offset, when you do your parallel, when you do your 90, straight line backing puts you straight in line. And so there's a thing called overshifting. Some people want to swerve this way and swerve that way. Then you got your hands at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and you just move it gradually. So pay attention during those skill tests and make sure that you can at least get the straight line backing. You get that, it's going to make everything else so much simpler for you. I value your time. I hope I haven't taken so much, and I hope these little things that I've learned coming in and going through the class are a help to you. I celebrate your success in advance, and I can't wait to see you on the road. So with that, it's been a plum picking pleasure, and I say to you, take care, take charge, and God bless.